Hey, what's up, everybody? Joe Steele with Crypto in the House. Thank you for joining my stream today. As usual, I am going to jump right into crypto first, followed by some real estate news. As always, it's a very interesting day in crypto. So, jumping right into the first story, we have Coinbase, another lawsuit being filed against Coinbase Global Incorporated, encourages investors to contact the firm. Complaint alleges that during the class period, defendants made materially false and misleading statements regarding the company's business operation and compliance policy, specifically false and or misleading statements, failing to disclose that they custodially held crypto assets on behalf of customers, which assets Coinbase knew or recklessly discarded could qualify as the property of a bankruptcy estate, making those assets potentially subject to bankruptcy proceedings in which Coinbase customers would be treated as the company's general unsecured creditors. This is obviously a pretty big developing development in midst of all the turmoil Coinbase seems to be going through lately. On the flip side, BlackRock just partnered with them. So it's very hard to read between the lines here as to whether potential Coinbase users should be nervous, if they should be feeling secure that, hey, why would BlackRock set up this partnership with them if they knew and they had to know something was going on with Coinbase? Obviously, the stuff that's already been announced, and now this latest development, you would think that BlackRock would not partner with a company like this, if they felt this was something they could not get around. Who knows? I'm not an attorney, but again, never a dull day with Coinbase in the recent times here. More crypto drama, the Nomad hack. Nomad's actually offering up to a 10% bounty to bridge hackers, where Nomad will consider any party who returns at least 90% of these total funds they hacked to be a white hat. They won't pursue any legal action against you. Funds must be returned to this recovery wallet address, which is right here in the official tweet they sent out. Also warning you to be wary of impersonators and potential scams, which is, kind of par for the course lately in a lot of these crypto, bridges that are getting hacked left and right. So obviously something to monitor and keep a check on. Nomad is continuing to work within its community, law enforcement, and blockchain analysis firms to ensure all funds are returned. So we will see. Take their word for it for now, and hope for the best as usual with how these things have been transpiring. Some positive news: the Bank of Thailand, according to Cointelegraph, is piloting a retail CBDC by the end of this year. Testing in a limited retail environment with 10,000 participants in 3 major banks. On August 4th, yesterday, the SEC granted operating licenses to 4 digital asset operators, despite all the turmoil around ZipMex, which had suspended withdrawals for customers last month. Crypto volumes in Thailand surged almost 600% in early last year, as that bull market was building momentum. So we'll see how this goes. Something to keep an eye on. Always positive when you can see these being implemented, but obviously the people on the other side will say, hey, this is not a great thing, because now you have the countries in charge of your currency, and in terms of like how they could potentially freeze your assets, or who knows. People get very nervous when it comes to CBDCs, and I think that's why countries are fighting them. Consumers are fighting them. We'll see. It's very interesting to see how this goes, and we will keep an eye on it from there. Jumping into some real estate news. Now, this according to the National Association of Realtors, Lawrence Yu, market's going to ease despite high home prices. So even though the GDP contracted for the second quarter in a row and home sales fell the 5th straight month, again, a lot of people would think that's, a recession. Some people think otherwise, but property prices are still continuing to grow because of this low inventory that we have, according to the NAR. They said this Wednesday during a real estate forecast summit. Um, so, we shall see. We do see a lot of low inventory out there, a lot less home buyers out there bidding, but we will see if this market starts to ease as a result. Blackstone, I should say, puts the finishing touches on a record real estate deal. They basically secured $24.1 billion of commitments for its latest real estate fund called the Blackstone Real Estate Partners X. Combined with their funds in Asia and Europe, the company has over $50 billion available for opportunistic investments, which is going to total roughly, $30.3 billion once it's finalized for just a bunch of buying. So clearly they're bullish on real estate long term and wouldn't be putting this fund together if they didn't see a silver lining coming up soon. From there, Zillow, on the flip side, sees tough times ahead. The residential real estate market has stumbled, like we said, 5 months in a row, after soaring the first 18 months of the pandemic. Bottom line says, although demand indicators stabilize in July compared to June, we expect the second half of 2022 to meaningfully contract year over year. So Zillow taking that approach of we're going to still see some pain before it's all over with. Home builders, if you're looking at new construction, what happens is a lot of these builders, they're developers, they're putting these projects into construction so much, so many years before they don't know what's going to happen with the market. And they're expecting, things to continue as they are at that time. But as you can see here, according to CNBC, sales of newly built homes fell more than 8% in June from the prior month and 17% lower than the year before. Now that's according to U.S. Census, and inventory also rose a 9.3 supply, up from 5.6 months at the end of last year. Basically, chief executives are saying they have to respond more quickly to the sudden turnaround in the market, in part by boosting incentives. Obviously, when you go to new construction, they want to wrap you up into their own lender and their own insurance, and they're building it. They want you to use their in-house agent. So what they can do is they can offer you incentives on your closing costs, or basically what they're saying now is they're going to have to sort of up the game in terms of the incentives that they're already usually offering, which is a sign that there's probably some wiggle room, but they probably weren't, prepared to go into some of the territory that they're going to have to go into to get to move these units, because a lot of them, phase 2, phase 3 of a development may not continue on until they close out the sales of that, section of the development. So we'll see. Home builders, hopefully they're able to, again, kind of balance that out, because it's a tough time for them as well. And finally, what we kind of talked about a couple days ago, the lagging jobs, the unemployments, layoffs that are coming. According to Wells Fargo, they're spotting signs of weakness ahead of the U.S. jobs report last month. The American job market has defied raging inflation, rising interest rates, growing recession fears. But now economists worry about signs of weaknesses starting to turn up, threatening one of the last remaining readouts of the economic strength. Job openings are down, but the number of Americans signing up for unemployment benefits is up. So even though there's jobs out there, it doesn't mean people want them. So that's something we're going to see in this, it looks like, unemployment's low. However, because people aren't willing to take some of these jobs, that's where I think we're going to start seeing some additional pain. Mentioned that a couple of days ago, but again, we will keep a close eye on this. So that's kind of what's going on today. Again, hit me up in the comments. Tell me if you like this content, if what you think could improve, if you think that you want to hear more about a certain topic. Again, I try to stick to crypto and real estate, and sometimes they intersect. Usually they do at some point in terms of the overall economy, but I think crypto will be a more accepted means of transacting in the future. And I think it's good to kind of be ahead of this thing. So, I have a blog down here. The URL's on the screen right now. You can, check out everything that's going on in that world. Check out my channel here. Like this video if it's giving you value. Subscribe to my channel, and, set notifications if you want to see when I am going to be doing more of these. And I, appreciate you guys checking in, and I will see you tomorrow on the live stream.